Hi everyone, welcome back to Exploring Wine Regions. We're going to be doing something a little different today. We're going to be actually looking at the maps for Russian River Valley. So today we're going to be exploring California's Russian River Valley. So before we get into the viticulture and all that, it's important to kind of understand where the Russian River Valley is and what the history of the Russian River Valley is. So here we are in California. So particularly in this area in the north is where you have Napa and Sonoma. And this was an area that was originally settled by Native Americans, and later on, Europeans came and settled and set up missions in the area. Now, most of California, you'll know, has names given to it by more Mexican explorers. So, Los Angeles, San Diego, those kinds of names, San Luis Obispo, those are all names that you might associate more with California. So, why does Russian River have such a particular name? Well, that's because Russians actually came exploring from their colonies in Alaska and set up settlements along the west coast of the United States in certain places in order to actually set up fur trades. So the area around Russian River was originally set up as a fur trading zone by a gentleman named Ivan Kushov. And he set up the fort at Fort Ross. And you can still see a little bit more influences of this early Russian settlement in the 1800s, such as the city of Sevastopol. So it's important to just see that what was going on here originally wasn't even agriculture, it was just trapping and nature. So wine is one of the first set of major agricultural products that was introduced in the region. And you can see here now we're in Sonoma. And as wine started being planted, a lot of different varieties were planted. You had Zinfandel, Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay, Pinot Noir. You also got an incredible number of other varietals that were placed in there as Sangiovese and other things. But over time, the only two varietals that have really been majorly successful in that area have been Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. So if you know anything from Russian River, you're going to know both Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. And Russian River is one of the first AVAs or sub-AVAs of Sonoma, and it's actually this region right here, including the sub-AVA of Green Valley, which was much more recently in 2011 carved out from the Russian River Valley because it, in addition to Russian River's unique cool climates, has another cooler climate with a slightly different soil type because the majority of the soil type in the Russian River is sandy loam. Over 60% of the area there is very sandy with a little bit of silt, so it actually has very good drainage but still retains a good amount of moisture. And you get a lot of very cool climates in Russian River with lots of fog. So with the actual amount of liquid you're getting running through that river, you're going to get lots of fog, and you have lots of air coming in through the Petaluma wind gap down here, which is blowing cool air up, and it's interacting with all that humidity coming off the river, and it's creating a blanket of fog. So even though Sonoma is very sunny over most of the area, the Russian River Valley is actually very foggy, especially when you're in the lower parts of the valley. So that rolls in from the Pacific, and ultimately you get this warm climate with this very cooling influence of the fog, and you get this strange cool Mediterranean climate that's perfect for Pinot Noir. So you can get wines that are very bright with lots of fruit, but still retain very racy acidity, which is why Russian River is such a celebrated region for Pinot and Chardonnay. Now that things have continued getting a little warmer there, you're starting to see more and more people planting Sauvignon Blanc and planting even Zinfandel in the area, which are making a resurgence. So keep your eyes out for seeing some nice Pinot Noir and Zinfandels and Sauvignon Blancs coming out from this region in the future. And make sure you check out our collection of wines from Russian River below and look out for those Pinots and Chardonnays.